Hello everyone, welcome to the Life Transformational Masterclass Bliss Secrets Limitless Possibilities of Life. Thank you for joining, and I'll make sure that this is going to be the best decision of your life to join this masterclass. I'm Dr. Prashant Tormal, author, speaker, trainer, high performance life coach. I'm going to teach you today the science of life that can help you improve your life in the various areas of your life, whether it's your career or whether it's your relationships or any area or any field you might be working in. In every area, this is the masterclass that is going to help you to improve your performance and achieve the greater heights in that particular field and achieve the greater success as well as achieve the highest peace of mind and happiness and joy and excitement and bliss. So this is the masterclass for you. Keep aside any important work that you might be having because this is something that is very important for your life because life is going to change once you learn all that I'm going to discuss today. Let's start with Bliss Secrets Limitless Possibilities of Life. So, this is the session that is going to be scientific, realistic, and practical. So, whatever the principles we will discuss in this class are cosmic principles that are applied to the entire cosmos and that are applied to your life as well. So, if you understand this principle and use these principles, this will definitely help you improve your life to a totally different level and achieve the higher successes in the different areas of your life. In my life, I have experienced fear, anxiety, depression, and all kinds of violence such as anger, guilt, or any kind of disorders that anyone can face in his life. I have seen many ups and downs in life. I know how it is to be a failure. I know how it is to be a successful. I know how the life is difficult in many scenarios and how painful it is to suffer and how hard it is to go through all these types of pains and sufferings. I'm a mechanical engineer. I have done my masters in product design and development from the NIT Warangal. I have done my PhD in mechanical engineering from Politecnico di Milano, which is among the top institutes in the world. Other than my academics, I have also studied astrophysics, psychology, metaphysics, and spirituality. So these are all the sciences which help us to understand the nature of reality. From the childhood itself, I was extremely curious about the things around us and what is the nature of the world around us and what is the nature of the cosmos itself. I was extremely curious to know about what is life process is about and how it exactly happens. My entire life was completely dedicated to study the science of life, the science of very existence itself. I would like to share all the things that I have learned from my experience with all of you. The good news is all your dreams and desires are going to come true. Because according to spiritual science, the nature of life is such that none of your dreams and desires get remains unfulfilled. Everything becomes your reality. It's just the question of the time. If you have enough patience, then life can be extremely blissful for you. The surprising news is you have manifested your life, but you have manifested it unconsciously. All the struggles and sufferings that you might be going through, or all the failures that you might have faced in your life, all of them are your own manifestation. This is the fact. But in addition to that, one more fact is that you have manifested it unconsciously. So if you become conscious about the life process, if you understand the principles and practice these principles, you can even manifest your life consciously. And conscious manifestation of life is nothing but the manifesting your dreams. The title of today's session is Bliss Secrets Limitless Possibilities of Life. So let's discuss first what is the meaning of bliss. The Sanskrit word for bliss is ananda. Ananda does not mean happiness. It's beyond happiness or sadness. It's beyond pain and pleasure. Bliss is an experience of being alive. Bliss is experience of being highly motivated, highly energetic, highly powerful, and highly confident, no matter in which situation you are. So bliss is not associated with your success or failures or your suffering, misery, or joy, but it is beyond all this. Bliss is the experience of the very life energy itself. Bliss is something that is your inner experience of high excitement and joy and inspiration that makes you move. So, something that comes from within is bliss. Anything that comes from the outside cannot give you the true joy of life. So, what comes from within is the true source of joy and true source of life, and that is nothing but bliss. Bliss is a state which is a state of high performance. In the state of high performance, you will be able to face any obstacle, any challenges, and any situation. Whether you are in the depths of failures or whether you are in the highest possible state of success in every situation, to be able to handle it joyfully and powerfully and profoundly, the state that is required is your state of bliss. So that is the state which is the key state to achieve the peak performance in life. So the focus of our today's discussion or focus of our today's master class is going to be on this particular topic, that is how to get into the state of bliss. And once you get into the state of bliss, you will be a peak performer. And with this peak performance states, you will make anything as your reality. You will achieve great successes in life and you will make all your dreams come true. I have used another term which is secrets. This is because all the people are running behind something in their life, but they are not able to achieve the peak experience that they want to experience in life. People have the houses, they have cars, they have all kinds of gadgets, but still they are missing something. And to get it, they are running behind certain goals. They think after achieving those goals, they will be able to experience the something extraordinary or peak experience of life. But even after achieving those things, they are not able to get it. The reason is very simple, that they are unable to get the peak experience of life from any kind of material things. So instead of looking for the material things, what they have to do is they have to choose some another approach, and that approach is nothing but the approach that we are going to discuss in today's class. So this approach is going to be very, very scientific and going to give you deeper insights into the nature of reality. And once you understand this nature of reality or principles of life, you will be able to achieve the higher peaks in your life. You will be able to achieve the higher successes in your career, in your relationships, and in various areas of your life. So that's why I refer to it as a secrets, because people are simply unaware of it, the fundamental principles of our life or deeper dimensions of our life. Let's now get into the content in any field, whether it's art, music, painting, engineering, medical field, science, physics, all these fields. we require certain fundamental principles. We go for the understanding the laws of nature that basically are applied to that particular field. The first step is to understand the fundamental laws of nature that are relevant to that particular field. For example, in engineering, before becoming an engineer, we have to understand certain laws of nature applied to the engineering. For example, in mechanical engineering, we have various laws of nature that are applied to the mechanical engineering. For example, laws of mechanics, laws of thermodynamics, or laws of fluids, laws of atoms, laws of energy. All these laws, first we have to understand to be able to apply it for our problems. So the first step is understanding the fundamental science. The second step is defining your necessity, defining your problem. And once we have defined these problems, we go for applying the science that we have learned and generate the solution. And once the solution is generated, we look for the practical ways of applying it. And this is the generalized ideas. And if we come across some more problems or some more improvements we are looking for, we have to just use it in a loop. So we will use all these steps in a loop to be able to solve the problems. So same principle we are going to use here when it comes to our life. The very first stage, we are going to study the nature of reality, that is the fundamental science. Then we are going to look into the modern science and spiritual science. So, since we are a modern people and it is hard to believe certain things that new to us, and to get your trust or to get you understand these principles, I have added this one more point. What modern science has to tell about the spiritual science, or what is the relative connection between them. Since our minds are built in a such a way that we need a scientific proof for everything that we learn. So that's why this is the very important topic for understanding the nature of reality or the fundamental science that is applied to the life. In the next step, we will discuss the real problem in your life. We face several problems in our life, but what is the reason behind it? What is the key reason or the in-depth reason for those problems? And how we can solve it? So that is something we are going to discuss in the understanding the problem. That is, we are going to discuss what is the reason or the real reason behind your problems, and we will define the problems so that we will be able to generate the solution for that problem based on the science that we have learned. So that is the next step, that is the solution. So we will discuss the solution, and later on we will discuss the practical techniques that will help us to apply this solution in our life. And once we do that, we are going to get the desired result that we are looking for. So this is what is the content of this master classes, and this is going to be very interesting and exciting to learn for all of you, because this is really amazing content that you won't find in any other place. So just stay tuned, and we'll move with the first topic, that is the nature of reality and or the fundamental science. Whether it's scientists, spiritualists, yogis, all of them are looking for the truth, looking for the nature of reality, looking for the fundamental principles that basically governs our universe. There are various paths on which you can walk to understand the nature of reality. So one of the most common path is science. If you look at my journey, the first path that I found was the science itself. From the very childhood, I was extremely curious, and this curiosity was even increased when I read a book on astrophysics and astronomy by a famous scientist and mathematician. When I read this book, I came to know about how big this cosmos is, how big the universe is, and how small we are. I came to know about many concepts in the field of astrophysics, which includes the black hole, galaxies, quasars, or gravitational waves, gravitational lensing, or dark energy, dark matter, and etc. So, and all these concepts were very new to me and simply opened my eyes about the universe and the nature of realities. So after reading or after getting aware of all these things, I became atheist. My approach towards the understanding the nature of reality became extremely scientific and science became my religion. I came to know about various branches of science that explores the nature of reality, which includes the particle physics, theoretical physics, quantum physics, etc. And after studying this, I started believing that all the religions, which never speaks about all these great concepts about the universe, are simply an imagination. So this is the first step of my journey, that is a scientific exploration. Later, after around 7 years, I have started studying the spiritual science. In fact, I was a never believer in it because the way it was taught to me was not scientific at all, and because of that, it was very hard for me to get into this science. But somehow, after studying the psychology, metaphysics, and various other modern branches of understanding or which are related to the spiritual science, I started studying it. I started later on understanding it, believing it. The spiritual science is something which is related to yourself. So it is opposite to that of the modern ways of exploration. So in this case, we are going to go inside ourselves to and understand our nature, and by going deeper in ourselves, we will reach a point where we will start even understanding the nature of all the things that are around us. The modern scientific way is such a way that we go on exploring the outer world around us. Whereas in spiritual science, we are going to explore the inner world, and through the inner world, through understanding our nature, through understanding our deeper dimensions, we are going to understand the deeper dimensions of the world around us. The way we are, same way the other creatures are. The plants or animals or stones or soils or planets or sun. Everything is made up of something of which we are made up of. So if we go deeper into our self, into our deeper dimensions, and know our nature, we can even understand the nature of all the things in the universe. So this is what is the spiritual science approaches towards the nature of reality. According to spiritual science, everything is made up of formless consciousness. So, if you go into our deeper dimensions, we will realize that we are formless consciousness, and this is the consciousness which is infinitely creative. And since it's infinite, that means it cannot be measured, it cannot have any dimensions, it will be infinite in all the sense. I have done a lot of study in this particular field. I have done a lot of meditation and try to understand all the aspects of it. And whatever I have learned, so that is what I want to share with the world, and that is what this master class is all about. One more important thing about the nature of reality or the nature of truth is that it cannot be verbalized. The moment you verbalize the reality or the truth, it loses its truthfulness, it loses its glory. To make you understand this, let me give a small example of a blind man to you. So, if a man is born blind and you try to explain him what is red, what is green, what is light, what is darkness, it will be a simply a theory for him. It is not the true reality, or it cannot be a true experience for him. So whatever you are going to teach him about the light, it is going to be just a theory. It is nowhere close to the reality. So the real way or the proper way to make him understand what is light, what is red, what is green, what is darkness is to give him an eye. So if you give him an eye, that's all. He will simply experience it. He will see everything that you were trying to explain him with words, with his eyes. So that is the reason Mahadeva did not give any theory. He simply gave the techniques to get awakened, to see the nature of reality. So to see the truth, he simply gave 112 techniques, and if you use those techniques, that will help you to wake up and to get eyes to see the nature of reality. So, all the masters, no matter what sadhanas they are teaching, all are focused on this one fact, that is to raise your intelligence, to awaken you and to wake up the dimensions of you so that you will be able to grasp the nature of reality. So, this is what is the approach that this master class is also going to have. And this is the approach that works and that has worked for many disciples of many masters, and that will work for you as well in your life. So, in the today's master class, the approaches or the techniques or the science that we will discuss will be from the application point of view for the modern life. So, in modern life, we have different mindsets, different lifestyles, different careers, and each person is totally different from another person. So, and considering this all these factors, I have decided to make this master class that is going to help you practically to achieve the greater success in your career and in your life. All the sadhanas are all about preparing you to experience the higher dimensions of life. So there are various religions that are created by the various masters, whether it's Krishna or Jesus or Mahavir or Gautam Buddha or many more. So all the masters who have created the various traditions and various ways and techniques to get enlightened comes under the practical techniques or sadhanas. And these sadhanas help us to prepare ourselves to experience the higher dimensions of life and to understand the life in a deeper way. And once you understand the life in a deeper way, in any area of your life, in any field, in any career, you can apply the principles of life. And those principles of life are going to help you to achieve greater success in your career and your life. We are now going to discuss certain fundamental principles that are given in Vedas. We are going to discuss the Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas are nothing but the big ideas or the cosmic ideas that describes the principle of the cosmos or the principles of the life. And this principle, if you understand, then you can go for the next step, that is you can apply these principles to your life by understanding the nature of your problems. Let's first discuss the nature of reality from the view of the Vedic rishis who has written these sentences in the Upanishads. Upanishads are ancient literatures who are written by the Vedic rishis or seers uh, based on their understanding or based on their experience or based on their awakening experience. Mahavakyas gives us the deeper insights into the nature of reality. These are the Vakyas from the ancient literature, Vedas, which opens up the secrets of the cosmos for us. The first Mahavakya is Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam means intelligence. Brahman means superconsciousness or cosmic consciousness. The consciousness which is all pervasive. So this Mahavakya basically describes us that the cosmic consciousness, which is all pervasive, is intelligence. And this intelligence is law of the universe. This intelligence is something which runs everything, whether it's an atom or galaxy or the entire universe. The intelligence or the law with everything functions is nothing but the Brahman. The second Mahavakya is Ayam Atman Brahman. Atman means the soul or the self. And Brahman, we have already discussed just now, Brahman is cosmic consciousness. So the sentence says that the self or the individual Atman or individual soul is not separate than the cosmic soul or cosmic consciousness, that is Brahman. So the cosmic consciousness itself is a self. So this is something that describes us the principle of non-duality, which is also referred to as Advaita in Sanskrit. This cosmic consciousness is all pervasive and it is the self of everything. So there is only one self, that is non-duality or Advaita, which is all pervasive, and the entire universe is like a one cosmic body, and this entire body runs in synchronization with everything that exists in this universe. So the entire universe is nothing but the one process, and there are no multiple things operating in parallel with each other, but it's a single process. And because it's a single process and single, we can say the cosmic consciousness that runs it, it has to function with supreme, we can say the intelligence or supreme smoothness. Since there are no two, there is no question of conflicts. If there are two, conflict and fighting is going to be a right approach, because only after, let's say, destroying others, you may survive, right? But because this is the cosmic process that is in oneness, the ultimate principles with the cosmos function is based on the love or awareness or consciousness or compassion. So all the things that are taught to us, that is be compassionate, love everyone, all these things are because this is the fact that, or this is the science behind it, that we are in oneness. So if others live, we will be able to live. So many people who are violent in nature believe exactly opposite to this. People think if others die, I will be able to live, but that is not the reality. The fact is that because there are others, you are there. So if there are no others, you won't be able to survive. Your life is very much dependent on everything that is around you. In your life, you exchange so many things with others, and that is why your life is so much beautiful. Everybody in this world has produced so many creative things. Everybody has done so many creative uh, or added so many creative products or things or piece of arts into this world, and that made your life beautiful. For example, the gadgets that we are using, or the camera on which I am right now shooting this video, or the you can see me right now wearing this suit, tie, or I'm sitting on a chair, and all the things that I'm using in my life, or anybody is using in life, is out of somebody's creativity, somebody's work, right? So your life is getting benefited when others are working. If others stop working, you will also be a loser. So if other lives, you will be able to live. If other dies, obviously you are going to struggle, and eventually you will be also not able to survive in this world. So that is the principle of oneness that is described in the second Mahavakya. We will move to the third Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. It means you are that. It means that you are the cosmic consciousness. So the Vedic seers or the master says to his disciple that you are that. That means you are the cosmic consciousness. You are not separate from the cosmic consciousness. You are not separate from the cosmos, or you are not separate from anyone around you or anything that is in the universe. So you are not separate from that. So that is the meaning of Tattvamasi. So that is the third principle. It also makes us aware of the fact that the reality that we experience is very different. We experience or we associate our life or ourself with individual identity. We associate ourselves with our body, our mind, our career, our relationships, qualifications, and everything that we possess in our life. We associate our identity with it. And because we associate our identity with certain things or certain material things, that is the reason for all the suffering in the life. Because all the material things that you think are part of you, or you think that are you, are temporary. They are going to vanish one day. They are no longer be here after a certain period of time. And they will disappear as if they were never the part of this world. So when you associate yourself with the matter or these temporary things, you are bound to suffer. Because when these things are going to get destroyed or going to get break, you are going to break basically. And when you are going to break, it is going to be a lot of pain and suffering. So, Tattvamasi is the principle that tells us that you are that. That means you are the formless consciousness. So, you are the intelligence, and you don't have to bother or you don't have to worry about the things that are material or part of your life, and that are just a part of the cosmic process, and that are just getting recycled every moment. They are getting created, they are getting maintained, and they are getting destroyed. So this is the part of a process, and once you realize this principle, or once you realize this fact, that is the end of suffering. So all that you have to do is you have to get or awaken your intelligence to such a level that you will live this principle, or this principle will become a part of your life. The next Mahavakya is Aham Brahma Asmi. Aham Asmi means I am. And Brahman, as we have already discussed, is supreme consciousness or the cosmic consciousness. So I am the cosmic consciousness. I am the supreme self of all that is getting created or all that is present in this universe. I am the supreme self of all the things in this universe. That is the meaning of this sentence. That is Aham Brahma Asmi. The next Mahavakya is Satchidananda. The literal translation of Satchidananda is truth, consciousness, and bliss. Sat means I exist. Chit means I know that I exist. And Ananda means I celebrate my existence. This sentence describes us the nature of reality profoundly. It says that, or it describes the principle of oneness to us. This Mahavakya tells us that the supreme Ananda, consciousness or awareness, is the ultimate reality. And supreme Ananda is in this very moment. But still, we are unable to experience it. Why? Because our mind is filled with too much of garbage and belief system that doesn't allow us to see the nature of reality as it is. Our mind is filled with deception, which is also called as Maya in Sanskrit. And because of this mind's reality, we are unable to experience the truth as it is. For example, the sun might be very big, but if your eyes are closed, your eyelids are enough to hide it. So even if the supreme Ananda, supreme consciousness, the divine intelligence, the supreme intelligence is functioning in this very moment, but still we are not able to experience it. And the reason is simply that we are engaged in the activities which are meaningless, or we are engaged in the belief system or content of our mind which is unreal or which is meaningless. And because of that, we are unable to experience the Ananda this very moment. And if you wish to experience this reality, this truth, you have to go beyond your mind. So this, if you want to understand the higher dimensions, the peak experiences and higher intelligence, you have to go beyond your belief system. You have to go beyond your Maya of mind. And that is what this sentence has to tell us. The garbage that is present in our mind does not allow us to see the nature of reality as it is. In the state of surrender, in the state of non resistance, non pulling, non pushing, you can experience the Satchitananda. The next Mahavakya is Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. We have discussed already what is Brahman. Brahman is supreme cosmic consciousness. Satya means truth. So Brahma is Satya, that is supreme cosmic consciousness is truth, which is all pervasive cosmic intelligence, and which is the ultimate reality, which is Satya or truth. Mithya means something that is lie or something that is delusory, something that is unreal. That is Mithya. Jagat means the universe is something which is not permanent, unreal, or temporary. Because the universe is continuously changing, it is referred to as a Mithya. And basically, what this sentence has to say is that we should not get too much bound with something that is temporary, because it is a mithya, it is going to change, it is going to get destroyed, it is going to vanish one day. So everything is just like a dream, everything is just like a temporary objects that will appear in the process of life and will disappear over the period of time. If you understand this sentence, that is the end of all your sufferings. So, all the objects that we are surrounded with are temporary, including our body. Whether it's your car, house, or this planet, or the solar system, or entire galaxy, or even the entire universe, all of it is going to disappear one day, because it's a part of the cosmic process. All the things in your life are made up of five elements, and at the end, all these things disappear into these five elements. These five elements are Akasha, which means space, Agni means energy, Prithvi means solids, Vayu means gas, and Jala means water. So, from all these five elements, everything is made up of, and everything eventually disappears into all these five elements. So, this is the nature of the world that we are living in. And if you understand and apply this cosmic truth into your life, that is the end of all your suffering. The last Mahavakya is Tattva Brahma Jagat Sarva. We have already discussed what is Brahman. It is a supreme, all pervasive intelligence, and its nature is of supreme intelligence, bliss, and celebration. So, Tattva means the stuff out of which the Jagat, that means the entire universe, is made up of. Tattva Brahma Jagat Sarvam. That means the Jagat or the universe is made up of the Tattva known as the Brahman. And we have discussed its nature. So let's say, for example, you are given a mass of soil. So depending on your nature, you will do something out of it. You may just create a flat surface out of it. You may create certain mess out of it, or you may create nothing out of it and just throw it away. You may create even some beautiful piece of art of it. You can create some statue, some flower, some animal, some chaos, or anything. So when it comes to the Brahma Tattva, that is nothing but the soil in this example, because the creator has the nature of supreme creativity, supreme bliss, or ananda. Because of his nature, has created this universe, a supreme piece of art. He has created such a beautiful universe, it is beyond imagination. It's his ecstasy, it's his peak of his bliss, it's his peak of his celebration. He has created this universe. The entire universe is described as the dance of supreme feminine and supreme masculine, which is the dance of Ardhanarishwara or Shiva and Shakti. When it comes to you, if you are doing something just to earn money, if you are doing something just to pay your bills, or just because somebody else is making you do this, or somebody else is asking you to do, or for whatever reason, if you are doing something that is of no use in your life, if you really want to experience the bliss, if you really want to be a peak performer, if you really want to celebrate life, enjoy your life, and at the same time fulfill all your dreams, you have to do something that gives you true happiness and true joy, and that is your true nature. When you do something from your true nature, it obviously gives you more bliss, more ananda, more happiness, and more success. So, to be able to be more successful in your life, it is very important that you follow your true nature. And your true nature is that of true bliss, true ananda, and true celebration. So anything you do in your life, do it as a celebration. If you do something in your life as a burden, then obviously it is going to reduce the quality of your life drastically. It will affect your health, it will affect your wealth, it will affect your relationships, it will affect your influence, it will affect your all the parts of your life. So if you want to be a successful, if you want to be a blissful, if you really want to be happy in your life, you got to do something that's your true nature. You have to allow the creator to function from within you. You have to allow the cosmos to do its job. You have to allow the life process to function through you. So, to be able to do that, you have to just drop your ego, drop your identity, and surrender into the cosmic oneness. And this cosmic oneness is good enough to fulfill all your dreams and fulfill all the your desires and solve all the problems in your life. So all that you have to do is stop putting your efforts that creates the mess. So in the state of surrender, in fact, you are not the doer, but the cosmic consciousness makes everything happen as a part of the cosmic process. So as far as you carry your identity, as far as you keep creating the nuisance, as far as you keep forcing, you keep pushing or pulling with the help of your uh, efforts that are put with your mind, you are bound to suffer. So you have to just drop that and allow the life process to happen. And more you become natural, more you become in oneness, more you follow your true passion, more you follow your true self, the more you follow your true instincts, and more you follow your true intuitions, more you will be successful in your life. So these are the various Mahavakyas or the fundamental principles of the cosmos or the law of life. And if you go into the depths of these principles, if you try to meditate on it and try to understand it into a deeper dimension, it will open up infinite possibilities for you in your life. Let's discuss the states of consciousness. There are total five states of consciousness in humans. There might be more states of consciousness, which will be combinations of all these. And also there will be a states of consciousness that are related to other life forms, since there are many other life forms, but we are not going to discuss all these other states of consciousness because those are not important at this level for us. The important states of consciousness are these five states of consciousness through which we go, and the last state of consciousness is nothing but the sixth state, which is the cosmic oneness or the nirvana or mukti or liberation. So the five states of consciousness are deep sleep state, dreaming, waking state, turiya state, turyatita state. And first one is deep sleep. Deep sleep is a state of awareness which relaxes you and rejuvenates you. We have all experienced these states, and this is the state something we all like awareness in this particular state is very low. The second state of consciousness is dreaming. In dream, in general, what we see is the objects and the world around us, and in that world, we are doing some activities or we see some pictures. So this world we can call it as a dream world. Dreaming state is not in general very peaceful in nature, but it helps us to release the mental toxins. If your mind is not silent before the sleep, if you are stressful or if you are too much angry or you are facing any kind of negative emotions, all those emotions will create certain pictures or certain dreams while you are in sleep. So this is the state that allows us to release these toxins. The next state of consciousness is the waking state. This state is higher than the dream state. When you wake up from the sleep, what you experience is the waking state. In the waking state, just like the dream world, you see the world around you. You are surrounded by the objects and things around you, you interact with it, and you think that it's real. But whatever you see during the dream state, that also you feel real until you are in dream. Whenever you wake up from your dream state, you get up into the waking state, and in this state, whatever you see, you feel it is more real than the dream state. But I can tell you that if you wake up to the higher state than the waking state, then you will realize that even your waking state is also like a dream state. Because if you see or if you compare the dream state and the waking state, they are very much similar states. The only difference is the waking state is higher to the dream state. In the dream state, you see the objects. In the waking state, also you see the objects. In dream state, the object disappear. In the waking state, also the object disappear after a certain period of time. Only after waking up to the higher state, which is the next state, that is the Turiya, you realize the whatever you were seeing in the waking state was just unreal, non-permanent, or Maya. So that is why the masters refer to as this world as Maya, because the world which is created by the process, and whatever that is seen to us or whatever that we experience through our senses and mind, all of it is temporary and disappears over a period of time. So anything that disappears cannot be real. So that is why it is referred to as mithya. The meaning of word Maya is measurable. So everything that you see in the waking state is a measurable. So that's why it is referred to as a Maya. Your reality is dependent on your states of consciousness. So depending on which state of consciousness you live in, your reality will be according to it. So when you are in sleep, your reality is different. When you are in dream, your reality is different. When you are waking state, your reality is different, and if you go to a higher state your reality will different. Your reality is nothing but projection of your own mind. So whatever that you sense through your senses and whatever that sensations creates in your mind, all that images are nothing but the your reality. Nobody makes you sad or happy. Nobody can affect your life from externally. Everything is your own creation. It's your mind, it's your own self, it's your own belief creates your reality. If you understand this fact and start using these principles into your life, you can create the life that you want for you. The next state of consciousness is Turiya, which is the fourth state of consciousness. So, in this state, you experience the life from the much higher point. You experience that even your waking state is not a real state. Just like dream, it is also a state which is a temporary. And in the Turiya state, you start experiencing your non-physical nature. You start experiencing your soul. You start experiencing you are something bigger than your body and mind. And some you start experiencing the more dimensions of your life. You start understanding the nature of the world around you in even more deeper way. Turiya is the fourth state of consciousness where your experience change drastically. So in your regular experience, that is when you are in a waking state, you have the reality which is filled with objects and images and variety of ideas. Whereas in the fourth state of consciousness, which is higher to this, you realize that just like your dream, the world that you experience in your waking state is also like a dream because the objects are more like a temporary objects and this temporary object keeps on changing and they appear and disappear as if they were never there. So in Turiya state, you don't suffer the change. The biggest suffering or the major reason of suffering in our life is the change. But the same changes also gives us the joy. If things are going to remain the same, we are going to get bored. But the sad truth is, we get attached to the objects and things so much that if they change, we suffer. And the matter of the fact is, nothing is permanent. Things are going to change, and things are going to come, and they are going to go away from you. And this is the something that is very difficult for all of us to digest. And this state is the state from where you will be able to digest this change. Inability to accept the change is your suffering. So if you start accepting the change, that is the end of suffering, and that is something that is going to happen in the state of Turiya. So in Turiya state, you will become a witness during your waking state, or your deep sleep state, or your dream state. During all these three states, you will remain as a witness, and you will know your higher reality is different than that of your the reality that you experience in the waking state. So this is what is the fourth state of consciousness in which you start experiencing the world in much more deeper dimensions and you start understanding the world in much more deeper way. In the Turiya state, you go so much deep inside you, you realize your true nature, and as you start realizing your true nature, your understanding and intelligence raises to such a higher level that you even start understanding the world around you. You start understanding the nature of things around you. You start understanding how world functions, and with your own intuition, you are able to understand how the things are functioning, and you will be able to handle your life with much more uh, intelligently and with the least efforts or least resistance. So as you go get into this state of Turiya, the resistance towards the life, resistance towards the various happenings of life is going to get dropped. And as you get established more into the Turiya state, you will be working effortlessly. The, in Turiya state, you will become a witness of your life and whatever the world that is happening around you. We know that the life is a process, the world is a process, the cosmos is process, the entire universe is continuously happening and it is a process. And when you get established into this Turiya state, you become a witness of this entire process. And all that we have to do in life is to get established into Turiya state and become a witness. And as you become a witness, the things start happening more smoothly, more effortlessly, and that is what is the effortless living, and that is what is the living fully, celebrating life and becoming unstoppable. So getting into this state is the key factor if you want to be successful in any area of your life. So all sadhana is all about getting into this state of flow, state of surrender, state of witnessing, state of higher awareness. And from this awareness, you will be able to face any challenges, any obstacles, or any dreams, any goals that you have in your life. You will be able to achieve them. Turiya state is the state of peak performance. This is the state of surrender. This is the state of disappearing into the cosmic process of life. So this Turiya state is achieved by the many artists, painters, sportsmen, or scientists, mathematicians, all the great peoples in the world who has created all the beautiful things or great piece of art or great piece of uh, mathematics or science or discoveries, whatever it is. But whatever that is a great piece of creation, that creation happened through this Turiya state. During this state, you are no more there. So whenever you are in a state of complete surrender, whenever you are in a state of flow, the creator himself is functioning through you. And more you disappear into the work that you like to do, more will be your performance that you will get from your work. So in the and that is what is the ultimate state, or that is what is the state of surrender, and that is what is the state of Turiya, where we are able to achieve the peak performance and peak of our creativity. Uh, you might have heard about the Ramanujan, who was the famous mathematician who has found some mathematical expressions that were relevant to the black holes. So black holes were discovered much later than that. So Ramanujan described the black holes before even the discovery of them. And all that he used to get, all the equations that he used to get were from the state of surrender. As per his words, he used to get this expression from some higher force, higher divine force, delivered to him directly. So this is all we can say is the about the Turiya state, and you should understand one thing that if you want to be a peak performer, if you want to be a successful, if you want to solve all your life problems, all that you have to do is to work towards this Turiya state. All the sadhana, all the techniques that all the masters give us is all about getting into the higher state. As you get into the higher state, you will be more blissful, joyful, energetic, more creative, more happy, more blissful, and at the same time, you will be more productive. And this productivity is going to make you successful and will allow you to achieve any dreams and any goals that you want to achieve in life. And the most fantastic thing about this particular state is that in this state, life happens effortlessly. The work happens effortlessly. Whatever you do happens effortlessly. So you don't have to take burden, you don't have to take stress, you don't have to work yourself, you don't have to take burden on yourself, you don't have to take tension. Uh, and without having this burden, without doing anything, you will be able to achieve much more in life. So that is the beauty of this state. So all of you, no matter in which field you want to be a successful, must work towards this particular state. That is the state of Turiya. And as you get into this state, life will be simply fantastic. It will be magical, and effortlessly you will be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. So that is the most fantastic and amazing thing about this particular state. So our basic discussion of this class, or I can say all my teachings, is all about getting to this Turiya or Turiyatita or these higher states. So as you get into the higher state, your performance starts improving, your health starts improving, your relationship starts improving. If all the areas of your life starts getting improved as you go on improving, or as you go on getting awakened to the higher states of awareness. So life is all about raising yourself to the higher intelligence, higher consciousness, and higher state of awareness. And that is the most blissful and amazing state that we are uh, looking for. The next state is Turyatita. Now, Turyatita is the next level state of the that of Turya. In this state, you get established more firmly in the Turiya. Turiya state is the state which is intermittent state of higher performance. You start getting a glimpses of higher reality in Turiya. Whereas in Turiya Tita, it is a state where you get established into a higher reality more prominently. That is, during your deep sleep, dream, and waking state, you experience yourself as a witness. And this is the state which is having the much more deeper uh, understanding and experience than that of the Turiya. So we can say if you go beyond the Turiya or if you get established prominently in the Turiya state, that is your Turiya Tita state. So in Turiya Tita, you are going to be in meditative state, which is far deeper than that of the Turiya. The next state of consciousness is the sixth state, which is oneness, liberation, or nirvana. So, in this state, you experience your true nature, that is infinite. You experience yourself bigger, far bigger than any finite form. So, for now, you experience yourself as your body, as your mind, as a finite identity with boundaries. So, during the state of nirvana, you all your boundaries drops. There is no more boundary that remains. There is no any finiteness to you that remains. You become infinite in all of your dimensions, and literally you become the cosmos itself. Your individual soul, your individual identity disappears into the cosmic consciousness. And once you disappear into this cosmic consciousness, it's the peak of your experience. It's the peak of your ananda. It's the peak of your bliss. And it's the peak of your ecstasy. It is the highest ecstasy. It is the highest experience that you can have. To make you understand this, let me give a small example. Let's say you have this body and you have five senses to it, and all your senses you enjoy, right? You use your eyes, you use your tongue, you use your nose, and you like to smell good things, you like to taste good things, you like to see good things. But these are the limited senses, right? But if there is a way in which you can experience much more than this body and these senses, the obvious thing is that you will be able to enjoy much more, right? So that is what is the state of oneness, where you see or experience yourself as the entire cosmos. And when you become one with the entire cosmos, when you go into so much deeper experience of yourself and realize that you are the cosmos, that is the state of oneness, and that is the state of ultimate experience and ultimate joy. So you can just simply imagine that with this one body you enjoy your life so much, then how it will be to enjoy your life being a cosmos. So there is, for example, you are one human being, there are billions of humans being on this planet, and if you are them, if you are all of them, then your joy will get multiplied so many times. That is billions times, right? Here I'm not talking about just a billion times experience, but I'm talking about the experience which is infinite times. So that is what is the state of oneness is, and that is what is the state of joy is, and that is what is the we can say the main purpose of life is to experience this ultimate state. Unless you reach to that state, you will be always unfulfilled, and you will be always keep on looking for something. But once you reach there, then there is nothing to look. It's just a celebration of being aware, being awakened, being yourself. It's just a continuous celebration and continuous expansion, and there will be like not, you won't look for anything from the outside basically. You will not need anything from the outside because everything that is inside, everything is going to, all the joy, all the great things, all the fantastic things, all the peak experience is going to come from the within. And in that state, you will no longer be a beggar from for the objects, or you will not be begging for the happiness or pleasure from the outside. Everything will simply flower from within. So this flowering from within is your awakening, is your oneness, is your nirvana, is your liberation. Thank you all of you for joining this session. We are going to stop this session over here, but in the next session, we are going to discuss about the what are the various life problems that you face and how you can solve those life problems, including achieving the your bigger goals and dreams in life. And we'll discuss basically the solution to achieve this goal, and we are also going to define the real problem, what is the real obstacle that is stopping you from achieving this goal. So next session is going to be very interesting, so don't miss the next session. What are the science that we have studied is going to help us to understand the solution that we are going to generate to our problems in the next session. So today's session was important from the point of view of understanding the basics and fundamental concepts now, and in the next session we are going to apply whatever we have learned in this session. So don't miss the next session as well. This is going to be a very useful and amazing, interesting session for you. So don't miss it. Thank you very much for joining, and let's meet into next session.